starting in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go. Well. Let me check if we are live. Am I audible? Yes, I am audible. Hi, Maitre. How are you?
Hey everyone. Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just was waiting for this session to take place as we are almost at the end of Fontober. We're just waiting for everyone to join in. We have people waiting in the call already.
Oh,
Uh,
amazing.
but before that, would wanna know a little bit about Maitri. Who is Maitri?
I have no idea. I've been trying to figure it out every single day as I go. And that's a good way to go, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, apparently in a professional world, I am a independent designer with a small studio. I work in a multidisciplinary design field, and we have worked with a lot of amazing brands and individuals from Lollapalooza, Budweiser, Adobe, OnePlus, and so many more. And yeah, still trying to learn more things and experiment as I go.
that's awesome. Uh, to be honest, I was a huge fan of yours. I have seen a lot of work of you.
You
Uh,
were a fan of me? You was?
yeah,
Not
I
anymore.
still I still am.
Oh no, I was disowned.
I still am a huge fan, obviously.
Mhm.
The
Uh-huh.
work that Maitri has done is quite amazing, quite insane, and she has worked with a lot of big people, as you just saw or heard, should I say? We'll just start right now. We are just admitting every single one who got the chance to speak in this call. एक फॉर्म छोटा सा रोल आउट किया था guys talk and ask Maitri all the questions that you can, the participants of Fontober. So I'll admit them right now. Make sure guys that if you are joining in, you have your cams turned on throughout. Perfect. Hello, hi Himanshi, hi Khushi, hi Anand. They're waiting for
Hello.
Hey
others to
everyone.
join in too. By the time, can you all just turn on your cameras? People in the chat, can you press 1 if everything is clearly audible?
I think I see some live comments happening.
I think I was not that audible, but now I am clearly.
You are, you are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This
Yeah.
is much better, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey everyone on the chats. Hello.
Guys, where is everyone? Kidhar gaye sab? Yes. Hi Rhythm,
A
how are
lot of
you?
lot of people might be just finishing work Friday night.
Yeah. Friday night chaos.
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. How are you, Metri? Right.
Hi.
Janani and
I
Khushi, we are
see
waiting for
I
you.
see so many exhausted faces from the week.
Perfect. We have a order, and what we'll be doing today, guys, is I'll be taking out your name, and then you'll be given the chance to speak, right, and ask the question to Maitri, and she has her own way of answering, so I'll leave that part to Maitri for sure. Uh, Harshvardhan will be late, so we'll be starting with Khushi. Khushi, you are vertical.
It's okay, I'll answer like this.
So I broke my phone, and if I turn it around, it'll start some reflection or sort of thing. I'm
It's
in a very
okay.
problematic situation. But hello, hi.
Hi.
So I am Kushi. I'm from Odisha, and I think my question for you is, so you mentioned a point where you said about working on your old ideas on your social media. So this brings me to a point where I have a lot of old ideas, but
Mm.
I do not work on it because I get stuck. I do not get better ideas to put it on paper, and I end up with the deadline, and there is no time to take break to restructure my thoughts. So how do you restructure your thoughts when you have a deadline to fill up and there is no time for resting?
I don't think I've rested in years. But you know what? Like, I'll tell you one thing. I don't think as creative people we can ever completely structure our thoughts. It's not possible. I think our, like, the little noodle up here is gonna keep on rolling whenever However, it's like specifically when you're just going to bed, you get a lot of ideas, you know. At least I do. I don't know about you guys, but I think I've heard a lot of people saying like when you wake up or when you're just going to bed, you know, your brain is still working on ideas. So if you've ever found like one project that you have done, you know, most designers, we are not very fond of our old projects, including me. So that project or like your old passion projects can also be an idea, right? It can be the same name, it can be the same color palette, it can be everything single thing, but it's just find out on how you can maybe restructure it better as a project. And I think it's never going to be fully finished, it's never going to be perfect, ever, ever, because we are always evolving. I think I get inspired every single day by the stimuluses that I have around me. If I'm playing a new game or if I'm reading a new book, I get new colors and new patterns coming in. So, you know, we store all of these information in our head, and I think it is always going to be leveling up every single day in our design field. So, uh, have make sure you have a deadline of anything that you do. So it can be like a time deadline as well, but it can be a design deadline as well, and have milestones. So rather than making it aesthetic all the time, because I think you can keep on making it aesthetic every single day, make sure it's solving a solution or like solving a problem, and it has a very strict solution. You know, as long as that is done, as long as it's providing a good solution, I think you're good to go. And from there, it can just keep on polishing. The next time you get time, you can, you know, add on more solutions to that one problem. So but have a deadline, otherwise, yeah, otherwise you'll just keep on going.
Okay, so that was something I did not expect. Like, I should have a deadline, so I do not procrastinate. It makes sense.
I mean, it's fine if you're procrastinating, but you know, have a deadline in the sense for the project. So now, like when I started out, one of my mentors told me to have a deadline for designing a logo. At that point, the whole branding or like the whole brand identity system that I wanted to do at that point, I used to give myself like 2 months or something, you know, as a passion project. Or just like if I have to sketch out a logo for a brand that I'm doing for myself as a passion project, I used to give like a month or something, like, oh, I'll just have more ideas coming in. Nowadays, I just give myself 1 hour. So as soon as the more experience you get, the more challenging it should be. Otherwise, you know, yeah, if you cook good, you can cook like 10 dishes in like 1 hour. But if you're just starting out, you can't even cook Maggie in like the whole day, you know. So make sure you're just amping up your challenges every time you go.
I have another question related to content. So, as you are also a designer and a content creator at the same time, so you're juggling
Hmm.
both the balls at
Hmm.
the same time. So, I also saw one another post of yours where you had written about how you had struggled while starting content creation. So, as if someone, for example, me, I'm starting out and I face a lot of difficulty with being consistent. And there's also another layer to it where I have to show people my face because then they gain trust on my channel, on my
Yeah.
page. So, how did you manage to launch yourself on that platform? Like a roadmap to that, maybe.
I was very scared of showing my face. I was one of those artists and designers like, oh, I let my designs speak for itself, you know. And I think I got a mentor very early on. I think that's why having a mentor or someone you look up to in the design world is really, really necessary. So my mentor, I got him in 2014 and 15. It was by accident and all. And he was one of those people who kind of pushed me to go online and, you know, show the designer who's designing all of these things. I don't do it very often, but for the consistency, it doesn't always have to be like every single day, right? So my mentor, like Chris Do, I think we all know. So he is the kind of person who teaches a lot, right? Who talks a lot about design, who talks a lot about business and stuff. But and I saw a lot of designers my age at that point. I still see a lot of designers right now trying to mimic him, Michael Janda, and all of those people. But the thing is, they are pretty very good at what they do, and they have an actual experience and awards and stuff for like 30 years in the making and stuff, right? And I see people trying to be consistent in their way when they don't even have a year of experience, right? So you have to kind of understand what consistency means to you in what field. So for me, I don't want to teach in the sense of like five whatever illustrator hacks and stuff, right? For me, teaching is through my work, so I try to be consistent in showing my work. It makes me actually work as well and experiment more as well, and it's like um, a milestone for me that I created something new, I created something more than I am comfortable with. So that's how like experimentation started to come up with, and that's how I became a multidisciplinary designer, I'd say. And trying to like dabble in all sort of fields that I love to do. And when it comes to consistency, even if it's like once a month, make sure that one post that you're posting once a month is really 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 good. So I remember at one point my consistency was just once a week, right? But that once a week had like illustrations and a really good behind the scenes stories and sketches and stuff that I used to do. And it doesn't always have to be really good for other people as well. You should also enjoy in the end, otherwise you'll get burnt out very quickly. So for me, if you see my Instagram, there is no it doesn't look aesthetic totally completely, because I see my social media, Instagram and whatever I see, as an experimental scrapbook. I don't want that aesthetic to kind of bind me to one style ever in my life. And I think there are many people who people can go and follow for the aesthetic, profile grid or whatever. I am not one of those people. I feel like this is something that should be even joyful for me. So make sure what it is joyful for you and for other people, and kind of find like a good in between for you to kind of work on.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Next up, we have Harshvardhan.
Hey Harsh.
Yeah, so I'm audible.
Yeah.
I'm like a third year computer science student currently at MIT RIT, and I'm planning to shift into UI UX as my like career after graduating. So often I get some comments from like friends, the payout in the UI UX is less, so like you should not shift there. So I'm little confused like what should I do? But so like I'm having some interest in that, so I'm like it's going to shift, but just like how to deal with that things.
Don't, I mean, see, again, in the end, I've gone through the payout stuff before as well, because in the end, we are doing a job for payment. Otherwise, it could have
Yeah.
been a hobby, right? Um, but I would say, I'll tell you one thing, like, because I do illustrations as well a lot. If I do illustrations more, I get paid way more in illustration than I get to paid in UI, UX, or brand design or whatever, right? So there is money. It just depends on the person who is trying to sell their services. And I see a lot of people who do illustrations get paid way more than UI UX product design developers, way more. I've also seen people get paid like the whole yearly salary for one logo that they have done. So it's not at all about what field you want to go into. It's about kind of the services that you want to provide and how you are providing it and how you're kind of conveying it to the people.
Also, okay. So like I'm planning to do masters in human computer interactions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, that would be a good support
Yeah.
for you in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks. That's it from us.
Yeah, don't think about it
Like,
like oh, this doesn't have much money or whatever.
yeah,
Think
yeah,
about it
okay.
from a perspective like if you actually do really really love to enjoy and
Yeah.
do like UI and UX or like developing that you were mentioning, go for it, because if you genuinely love it, you'll go way ahead in the career than
I know
others.
I'm like I've done like finalize myself. I'm going to
Mhm.
pursue UI will only.
Perfect, go.
Yeah.
I think you have passion for it, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Good. Thanks.
Awesome. Next up, we have Janani.
Hey.
Hey Vansh.
Hi.
Hey Maitri. I'm a big fan of your work. I've been following your work from LinkedIn, and we are friends actually. And my question for you is, um, I work in a corporate, a company called Tune AI, which deals with the generative AI basically, and for our brand, like we have a brand guidelines as such, but somewhere I feel we are very restricted to the elements that have been already fixed. So how can I improve, and how can I actually create more elements, like illustrative elements, without using free pick or any other things? How can I
Hmm.
curate an elements and use it across all the collaterals? Because I mean, whenever we say corporate, it's going to be a monotonous work, and I don't want to be that. So I just want to break that stereotype and become one creative designer in that. So it would be great if you could uh, share me some ideas, like how can I actually make whatever the brand guideline they fix, but we have to be a little out of the brand guidelines, but sticking it to that. So yeah, I don't want to repeat the same patterns and same things. So that's my question.
I think we all kind of forget, even I sometimes forget it, like we are hired for a reason, right? And we kind of just keep on doing what they are trying to tell us to do. It's not much of an effort, so let's keep on just doing what they are kind of putting on our table. But some point, I think if you want to be a bit more creative, it's gonna take a lot of hard work,
Yeah.
definitely, and take a lot of research as well. So there was
Yes.
this one client that we worked with, and we literally just pitched them like a what like 60 pages deck just for like an illustration style that they can go through.
Right.
And like even internally we went through like 60 to 70 just sketches, like styles of illustration with like one tweak each, and how it can change and how we can present them. And when we presented the style, it was just like three styles we presented out of the 70 or whatever we
Yes.
sketched. So it's going to take a lot of research, strategy, and time,
Yeah.
hard work as well.
Yeah.
But I would say like get another person with you, so it will kind of help you bounce ideas with that person as well. And it can be like a united front when it comes to pitching it to like uh, to a CEO specifically, because when you're working on your own, it can be easier to pitch that to somebody. But when you're working in an office with other people, it's always great to gather as many people in your gang as much as you can to pitch all of these things together. And in the end, even they are working in the same company, so it's good to just understand that this idea that you have will actually work long time, not just through the aesthetics of it, but ROI perspective as well.
Perspective. Yeah.
Because a lot of times junior designers or people who are just starting out, creatives who are just starting out, think about it from oh, this will look cute, right? But as I went through like the art director phase of mine, or like creative director phase of mine, I kind of understood like, oh, there is way more than that, that like companies have to earn money to sustain us, to like even hire us for all of that. So in the end, ROI will matter like 60% or 70% than the
Right.
aesthetics. But other than that, do a lot of research and kind of find out what would work, and don't forget to ask the question on why it would work.
Right. What and why is the main.
Why? Yeah, because we always say like, oh, this will look cute, or this will look really cute, like these characters would gel up with the brand illustrations or whatever we are doing. But why would it work?
Right.
Like why should they spend money maybe hiring an illustration agency, or why should they spend money or time as well, like your time as well, on this specific project than other projects that they already have you working on it? So
Right.
there's a lot of give and take when it comes to that, so have all of these things ready and kind of push that ahead.
Right. Yeah. Next, can I ask another question as well? I mean, yeah. So I would really like to know about your transition from a juniors, senior, and to AD. I mean,
Oh god.
because some because people ask me to just consider a role for brand manager as well as designers together. So I just want to know the scope of it. Like, I also want to know your journey so that it will help me focus on my career as well.
So my last job at such was in 2018. I've not done a job since then. So there was no like straight line, oh, I was a junior designer and then I got a pay
Uh,
raise or whatever. So I
okay.
can't tell you in that way.
Yeah.
But when I left my job at that point, I was earning way more than what I was getting, like my salary in my
Yeah.
job at that time. And I thought, like, oh, that would be a good understanding and good learning for me to kind of pump up my learning experience, as well as just going and pitching and being like the all rounder, like
Around.
wearing all the hats, marketing person and
Yes.
finance guru or whatever, and doing all of that for myself. But there was this one that's like a very like a big memory for me. Like a lot of people used to hire me for mood boarding.
Uh-huh.
So I used to do a lot of mood boarding because I love sketching and stuff. So I used to do a lot of mood boarding, like what's the first frame of a TV commercial would look like, the
Right.
second TV commercial. So whenever TV commercials are short. We do like one frame at a time, and we kind of show
Right.
like how how the person or the guy in the main character would look like, what would he be
Right.
wearing, and where would he be sitting, and all of that stuff. So it's all sketched first. So I
Yes.
did that for Samsung, and at that time I was just like a basic person who was just sketching out
Right.
all the frames and all of that stuff. And at that time, I think their art director kind of fell out. So this was through an agency, and
Mm.
their art director fell out for like some health issues that I'm not very sure. But they're like, because we want to kind of push this ahead, and we would love for you to kind of take the art director role because you have already sketched out everything, you have everything in your mind already. So can you be an art director on this project as well? That was a huge leap for me to do all of that.
Right.
But in the end, you kind of learn as you go. No, you are never going to be prepared for anything ever in your life. It's just going to be just like, oh, hey, here you go. You just have to work on it. And yeah, you have to be okay with it in the end. So
Hopefully. Yes.
yeah, so yeah, those levels for me was just like a big hit every single time. And I have to kind of cry and learn that that's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Maitri. Thank you
You're
once.
welcome.
My pleasure. Next, we have Himanshi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. My question is to you is ki how you approach learning new design trends while not losing your unique style and voice.
I don't mind losing my unique style sometimes because I feel like, oh, I have marinated like my old style very much.
Okay.
And I'm always looking for like at least, so again, in my head, I have this kind of a rule for myself. Again, everybody is different, every designer is different. For me, it's usually like after every year, my Instagram page should look very different. So that's my goal. And I try to lose it as soon as possible. But there are some nuances like my colors, or like the color picking that I used to do, and all of that. They kind of stay in because I think in the end that's the core for me. But I try to learn new things because they are, first of all, they're trending, right?
Hmm.
Because when they are trending, you'll get way more tutorials
Huh.
online. And second, a lot of people would be talking about it. Like if you remember early this year or last early like late last year, everybody was like AI. You know. So it's always going to keep on happening. So when it's trending, learn it with other people because you'll be in the flow. Everybody will be talking about it, and everybody else also would be learning, like your colleagues and everything. So it's great. You can be like your study buddies or something, and um, yeah, when it's trending, learn about it. If you feel something is pretty old and you still want to learn about it, yeah, try to find, I think, a lot of tutorials online, but apply it rather than just learning some things. I would suggest apply it somewhere. So one thing that I do, because I don't have a lot of time nowadays because I'm working, handling my team, as well as doing a lot of small YouTube things or like collaborations and all of that stuff. What I usually do is I directly go in applying it for something. So right now I've been learning 3D for a very long time. I'm not getting a lot of time, but I already have a sketch in my mind on what I want to build. So I want to build that in 3D. So that's how I'm learning 3D rather
Okay.
than let's build a donut and cream online or whatever. But
Okay.
because everybody does do that, and it's a great way to do it, but
Hmm.
it'll take me a lot of time to get there.
Huh.
Like to my illustration, so I'm just trying to just yeah, learn it with the illustration that I have in mind, which will look great in 3D. So yeah, it helps me to just bump it up 10x very quickly.
Yes, and my second question is to you is कि आप इतने टाइम से डिजाइनर हो और आप कैसे मतलब टाइपोग्राफी इवॉल्व हो रही है बहुत टाइम से तो आप उसको आपका कोई स्पेसिफिक रूल है टाइपोग्राफी को यूज करने का या आप मतलब यूं जैसे जो ट्रेंड में है उसको यूज करते हो क्या स्पेसिफिक कोई
नहीं, मैं
रीजन
ट्रेंड आई डोंट इवन यूजुअली go for trends when it comes to type, usually. So again, I'm an illustrator as well. So I love drawing custom types a lot when I'm working for a lot of my clients. I do a lot of illustration with types as well. So again, I love doing mixed media, like mixed fields together, say illustration and let's say type, or some designs with type, or photography with type as well. It looks really phenomenal. So either that, and I personally feel there should be no rules when it comes to creativity. There was a rule when I was learning design, and like answering your question, I have a bachelor's degree in fine arts, not finance. A lot of people think it's finance, but fine arts. So yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time now, more than 8, 9, 10 years, I think. But yeah, and because of that, I think keep on learning. I don't think there should be any uh, rules for me at
Okay.
least.
Thank you so much.
I hope I answered the question, but yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Anand.
Hi Maitri, hi everyone.
Hey.
So my question is quite similar to खुशी कि
Mhm.
मुझे आइडियाज के लिए एक प्रॉब्लम है. मैं ब्रांड आइडेंटिटी डिजाइन करता हूँ, विजुअल आइडेंटिटी. बट समटाइम्स आई हैव आइडियाज फॉर द ब्रांड. बट एक ब्रांड के लिए स्पेसिफिक एक मैसेज कंवे करना चाहती है, वो आइडियाज
Mhm.
मेरे से जनरेट नहीं हो पाते कभी कभी.
Mhm.
समटाइम्स सम ब्रांड्स वांट समथिंग स्पेसिफिक टू एक्सप्रेस, और वो
Mhm.
मैं कभी कभी लैक कर देता हूँ आइडियाज पे कि इसको कैसे एक्सप्रेस करूँ.
So, what is your process usually?
I go through the all the brands, उसकी पूरी हिस्ट्री, उसके मोटिव्स, उसके बारे में पूरा पहले ब्रीफिंग करता हूँ. फिर उसके बाद
Mhm.
थोड़ा बहुत लुकआउट भी करता हूँ बाहर के, उस तरह की ब्रांड्स कैसी हैं, क्या
Mhm.
शो कर रही हैं, उस हिसाब से मैं जाता हूँ फिर.
Okay, so you ask questions, right, to the client?
या
Acha, ठीक है. So what we usually do na in this industry is like we usually go through at least two discovery sessions with them. Minimum. So discovery calls में क्या होता है? We kind of understand what they want to convey, what has gone right in the past, and what has really failed in the past, and why it has failed. So rather than just again, rather than just aesthetics, I kind of understood it as I leveled up as a designer. That aesthetics in the end don't matter if you don't have a solution at all. Like your design will definitely fail. Like we've seen like bigger brands taking celebrities in their advertisements just for the aesthetic part of it, but there was no messages in those advertisements, and they failed really badly because there was no message to convey in the end. So I would suggest, so whenever you're doing discovery sessions with them, and understand what their motive is, what worked with them before, what they want to convey, and what was like a big failure and they spent so much money on it, right? So at least you'll kind of
या श्योर.
understand on what not to do again. So there was this one thing that changed the game for one of our old clients was unka icon dikh nahi raha tha, like their icon that they usually had, and we were not doing the branding at all, but we just told them for free that we'll get your icon thoda cleaned up if that is okay with you. So वो जब icon cleanup हुआ ना, they started to show up way more when their competitive logos or competitive brands started to come in together, and their logo was way more visible. So it's a lot of things, and you kind of have to understand where the logo is gonna be placed, like the positioning kahan pe hai. There's so many things. So like different brands have different competitions, different brands have different spaces that they put their logos on. So you have to always be very observant कि तुम्हारा वो specific client कहाँ पे position करने वाला है logo. So one solution if you're applying to a client A might not at all be applicable to client B.
ओके, थैंक यू.
Welcome.
Perfect. Next up, we have Rhythm.
Hey, hi. Hope you're
Hey.
doing good, right? Yeah. I wanted to ask, like I'm from Kaseva Taltu. I should tell myself first, like what I'm doing currently. So, lastly, I was into VFX till last year, and now I'm starting my designing journey. Don't like it's been a long story why it happened. So, I wanted to know, I wanted to be as a freelancer. So, how we can take the clients if we wanted to do branding things for them, how we can get the clients on board and we can get a good project. It should be like something we were looking for maybe, and the client even looking for, like compatibility should be there, I
Mm-hmm.
feel. But I could not able to find like where we can get the clients from, and like where we find the company which wanted to do their branding and rebranding maybe.
So you are asking how you can find clients
Yeah, basically it's
or
like
like
that.
good clients.
Good clients. Clients
Okay.
I get, but not good one.
I mean, yeah, I think we all go through it. But I think most of the design industry kind of relies on recommendations. So most of the clients that I usually get is through recommendations. So I usually ask one of my old clients, like, oh, we are open for new work. If you are interested, and if you know anybody who would love to get some designs, illustration, or whatever, let us know. We would be more than happy to help them out. So it's always just mouth to mouth publicity, specifically through old clients, most of the times, because that's like CEOs will know a lot of CEOs, right? HRs will know a lot of HRs. It's that kind of a mindset that usually happens. And um, so, yeah, I mean, that's the basic of it. But other than that, yeah, reaching out, outbound is one of the most difficult things you can ever do. I have not been successful in it yet. I've just done like outbound couple of times till now. Um, and yeah, half of the times I was not successful, but half of the times I'm still working with that client for 5 years now. So it's difficult to find clients through outbound, because the thing is, the services that you are providing right now, it should be their need at the same time when your email hits their inbox. And you cannot kind of guess that, like, if they actually need somebody right now or not. So again, like, there was this one thing that I did, like, if you want to do outbound, I would suggest be very vigilant on what they exactly need. So there was this one client that I wanted to work with, and I just stalked her a lot. This was like 7 years back or something. I was just starting out. I stalked her like a lot, and I kind of found out that they don't have a person who would help them out with a lot of campaigns and social media and stuff at that point. And they were very creative. Like, they used to have like campaigns every single month for their advertisements and online, just on social media and stuff. So I literally built a campaign with their brand, and like the colors and everything, and just sent it to her and said, like, you can use it for free. You don't have to even credit me, but I would love to work for you, and this is something that I can provide you with zero context from you. And yeah, I'm still working with them, say, 5 years now, 6 years now. So yeah, if you're like out going to the outbound, but you have to kind of go out of the way to kind of get them. So yeah, it's difficult. But if you have already good clients before, I'd suggest, tell them like you're looking for new work, or you're up for just booking yourself up for the next couple of months, and yeah, hope for the best.
Actually, I have the chindi ones only for now, so I'm finding the good ones even.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's fine. I'm trying like I'm even cold emailing them, but no response till yet. As you said, like it's difficult to
it is.
match
It
up
is
with
because
anyone.
I would suggest, like, when you're. So I know a lot of studio owners, and when even we talk about outbound, and when you're emailing, the chance of getting an answer from 1,000 emails is one. So like, you get an answer, or like a positive answer, I'd say. When you reply like email 1,000 people, you'll get one positive response. So it's a lot.
Yeah, when I'm putting myself, so I hope
No,
to get
yeah,
them.
I understand your pain. Keep at it. You'll do good. Put
Yeah,
your work out there,
thank
I'd
you.
say. Put your
Yeah,
work
I'm
out there.
trying that.
Oh, one more thing you can try is go out to a lot of exhibitions and expos and stuff. I think you'll find good clients there as well.
That one helped me out in one thing. Like it was the first experience of me to have something like that,
Mm,
like joining a community and something like that.
yeah.
So like I will start with that more. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for answering.
Welcome.
Great. Yes, Anand.
एक और क्वेश्चन है अभी रिदम से रिलेटेड थोड़ा क्या कंटेंट क्रिएशन हेल्प करता है क्लाइंट्स के लिए आपको
मुझे इंस्टाग्राम से बहुत क्लाइंट्स मिलते हैं नहीं, तो आई डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली। सो मुझे जितने भी क्लाइंट्स मिलते हैं, इट्स थ्रू लिंक्डइन। बट मेरे जो बाकी के
हम्म,
फ्रेंड्स हैं, दे गेट मोर ऑफ देयर क्लाइंट्स थ्रू इंस्टाग्राम। They don't get any response from LinkedIn. So suggest it's completely up to you and your algorithm and what you're posting out there. So if you're just starting out, start on every single platform at the same time. And
हम्म,
content creation, again, you have to kind of understand who you're targeting.
Hmm.
I would, okay, one thing a lot of designers kind of forget: who you are targeting. A lot of designers target designers. If you need work, don't target designers. This, I've been like exhausted after telling all of this, that don't target designers. Okay, if you're targeting designers on this is the tools you can use, this is something you can do, this is how illustration works, you're going to get a lot of designers in your which is great in the end, but you're not going to get clients. So you have to kind of show on how you'd be with the clients rather than with the designers, you know. So the same thing that you apply for your clients, you kind of understand the demographic, you kind of apply designs for their demographic specifically. A lot of designers don't do that for themselves. So
Yeah.
do all of that strategy and research stuff for yourself first, and then do it for your clients.
I have one example added to that.
Mhm.
There is this designer called Keshav. किसी को
Mhm.
पता है? His full name is Keshav Grover, and he posts a lot on Instagram every single day. देखना, research करना, Keshav Grover, YOZ designer, right?
Mhm.
ये है उनका Twitter, and he said that
Oh, I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even I
He posts a lot on Twitter, and these
Mhm.
days the Maitri ma'am ने जो बोला अभी, uh, that CEOs know CEOs, and a lot of CEOs you'll find on Twitter, hanging
Mhm.
out and just yapping about Donald Trump winning and stuff like that, whatever. So you can post over there also, and you'll actually get clients.
Yeah.
Harsh, there's this guy in the chat called Harsh. आपका भी question लेंगे, but we have one guy left whose name is Prashmeet. Over to you.
Hey, hello everyone. Hi Vansh. Hi Maitrey.
Hey.
So yeah, my name is Prashmeet Verma and I'm currently working as a UI UX designer. Right. So my questions are with respect to website designing and brand identity designing.
Mhm.
So like it's well known that awards and recognitions serve as a major motivators and validations for a designer work, right? And
Mhm.
self-doubt is natural when you're just starting out, especially when you realize that not all the outstanding work wins awards, but the ones that do are undoubtedly the best.
Mhm.
So, my first question is so there are three questions to it. And the first is how do we bring fresh, original, and creative touch to our designs that is award worthy and remains in the market for a long time?
Okay. Two-part answer to it. Most of the awards are bought.
Hmm.
A lot of design awards you can buy for yourself, which is great because in the end it's like getting a advertisement for yourself out there. Buying a column
Exactly.
in a newspaper. So that can be done. I don't think that's big of an issue. But those are the awards that you cannot buy at all. I think you kind of have to understand who your competition is. Rather than competing with everybody in the world, compete with the people who usually apply.
Hmm.
And kind of understand the jury. So they kind of out the jury like long time
Right.
before, and you kind of always understand like who will be on the jury, right? So kind of see their aesthetic design, like design sense as well, because in like in engineering and coding, like this code will work on this and this answer is the code, and there is very specific things. There are not a lot of experimentations that you can do, but in creativity, like one illustration, like maybe illustrate a playing card, there are thousands and millions of ways you can do that, right? And there is no right or wrong in the end. So whatever even they are choosing, there is no, again, right or wrong to it. It's just their preference.
Preference. Yeah.
So kind of understand the jury as well. Also, like the what I said right now is like understand the why. If you're presenting a solution anywhere, kind of understand the why.
Hmm.
And I've seen a lot of designs that win awards which are not bought, is mostly that the motto is really really strong on why they did certain things. That the case study is built really really well. But I know a lot of designers who have no awards and they still do way better than people who have awards. So don't get stuck there.
Yeah, absolutely. So second question is how can we find clients who bring a award-winning potential, like through
Hmm.
inspiring and those kind of briefs as such, because there are, see, I'm working in a design agency and there are clients who come up with कि मुझे ऐसी वेबसाइट चाहिए, उनको ऐसी वेबसाइट मिलती है फिर
But
there is
मैं
no.
वही बोल रही हूँ, they are not working for an award. They're not working for an award. They are working for their ROI in the end.
Right.
So your preference, your goal for that project is way different than their goal in the end. So you kind of have to kind of try and mix that together.
Exactly.
Like in the end, if you imagine like something that you need specifically, कि मुझे ये टाइप की कार चाहिए, right? इसमें ऐसे एग्जॉस्ट होते इट विल लुक रियली ब्यूटीफुल, अगर तुम्हारा वो कार डिजाइनर वाला बता दे तुम्हारे लिए, बट यूर लाइक नहीं चाहिए बिकॉज दैट वोंट बी सेफ फॉर मी. I
Hmm.
need safety on road, right? That's the conflict of interest at that point. So you kind of have to understand, or maybe be lucky to get clients who understand creativity
Hmm.
in the end, are
Right.
pretty open with your decisions. They trust you specifically. Because abhi tak ke mere career mein, I just have two projects where people just come in and say that Maitri, whatever you do, we are okay with it. Even if it sucks, we are fine with it.
Hmm.
So it's rare. It's very rare. But yeah, keep on going. I mean, have good networks with a lot of HRs and marketing leads and everyone.
Okay.
People like make them friends first. So it's a long game. Play always a long game. You cannot get good trustworthy people in your life you can work with. And also, if sometimes you feel that that client can give you that freedom, there have been times where I'm like, you know what, I can do it for free for you, just because I want to get my creativity out there and just need some uh, what creative output, a creative platform. But then whatever I say, like 90% of the times you have to say yes to it. I can understand the 10% you say no, but
Right.
then I can do it for free. But there should be some give and take for them also to kind of understand that you are designing their baby in a way,
Hmm.
in your way that they are going to kind of stand behind for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. My final question.
Mhm.
So, like, how do you know when you're ready to start your design agency or studio, and what are the key factors to success?
I don't think there are any. Like right now, because in the design industry, I've never seen design industry suffer so much because the technology is changing every 6 months, almost every 6 to 8 months, I'll say. Like
Hmm.
before, at our time, or maybe at our parents' time or something, technology was changing like 50 years or 10 years or something, 20 years, I'd say. Like new technology was coming every 20 years. Right now, it's so high paced that we have to learn every single thing very quickly. And there are a lot of softwares which can do our work without designers needed at all, right?
Right.
So it's not a great time right now. I can say it as a design industry owner, it's very very chaotic, because at the point I'm like, oh, I have a couple of good clients coming in, but then I'm like, oh, it's a dry spell because there are no clients, because same question I've been asking to other design agency owners and they're going through the same thing. It's just because clients don't nowadays need you for social media because they can handle it themselves on Canva, on Adobe Express and stuff, because we understand from designers perspective it's not great, quote unquote, but for them, ROI,
Right.
it matters. Like in the end, the amount of investment they are doing in designers was too much, and now they can just pay like one software and they can do like bare minimum
Hmm.
to get the things out there and pay meta ads to kind of push everything towards the consumers, and it is working.
Right.
So you kind of have to understand what you want to do and why you want to do and how you want to do. I think that's the success thing. That's the success story. And most of the clients that a lot of design industry owners are getting are through network only.
Like
Like
word of
I
mouth,
just
as you said.
word of mouth. We are not getting clients directly just posting online like, oh, we are looking for clients, or even outbound
Hmm.
at all. So have a good network first. Have something about 6 months of financial um, net for you
Backup.
to kind of lay on, and then go for it. But then don't look back. And again, I'll say one thing from my experience, it is completely okay to come back and regroup. A lot of people find it like, oh, I have just started an agency, and if I stop my agency right now, I've done it twice.
Okay.
It is completely fine. I've gone from 20 people in my agency to zero, like just me in the end. I'm like, I can't handle that much. I don't want to be a manager ever in my life. I want to keep on creating stuff. And for that, it worked. And it's completely fine. A lot of people find shame in that, but it's fine. In the end, if it works for you, if you are happy about it, why not?
Hmm. Right. Thank you, Matri. There, like that was so much insights around it.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, सबके questions हो गए अब. I have two interesting questions for Maitri.
Mhm.
First is मैं यही देख रहा था कि कोई पूछेगा या नहीं पूछेगा, किसी ने रिसर्च करी या नहीं करी है. Maitri has worked with a lot of big brands. I want to ask Maitri, how is it like and how is it different,
Mhm.
like by working with these brands, and like क्या process होता है with these big people? What do they follow? What do you have to follow as a designer? Everything.
I think I would suggest, till now, the smaller the brand is, the more creative you are. I feel for now. The bigger the brand is, the more intricate their guidelines are. It's very specific on what you can do, what you cannot do. Specifically with legacy brands, you cannot do anything outside of their comfort zone ever. The bigger the brand is, or maybe the global the brand is, the more approvals you have to get. So I remember one project that we did for a global brand, and we had to get 12 approvals, not just from people from India. It's like two people, two heads in India, three from Brazil, one from US, and everyone. And it is difficult to get so many approvals on that level. So I absolutely loved working with like startups. They're great. It's really way more creative. But global brands definitely teach you way more about the industry than just design. And Yeah, I think it's way more strict. It's way more strict, but it's way more fun to see how much you can challenge. So the when I started to work with bigger brands, I kind of understood where I am as a designer. I kind of started to feel that, oh, I need to learn way more to kind of get there, because with startups, even they don't know exactly what to look for, because it's an open field. It's a um, yeah, they're just trying to explore on how what works, what doesn't work. But bigger brands, they know exactly what works. They have the algorithm. They know how much they want to spend. They have options for you as well. Like if you don't work, like if me as Maitre doesn't work for them, they have options sitting aside for me. So it's pretty daunting, but it's super fun to kind of see on how much you can challenge yourself. And I think, yeah, someone asked me the question for deadlines, right? That's where the deadline thing came for me, because when I started working with bigger brands, there was no stopping my brain, my creative brain, in the end. So I kind of just started to push myself. I cannot read, what is it? It's getting blurred for me.
So
Ultimate what?
it says my inspiration, my ultimate inspiration is deadline. Like we talked about this with Atul as well. Same,
Oh
like
man, yeah.
बहुत similar lines में questions थे. Before my last question, we have Harsh asking the chat. Is my question is, how do you come with the final output? Can you go through your process? Like, how do you start working on some project from scratch?
Mhm. Okay, again, there are a lot of projects. There is no, a lot of people find like there is a single process for a lot of designers coming in. And I was like, yeah, I'm very strict about it and very professional about it. And, I'll be very serious faced and stuff. Nothing happens in the end. The chaos will fall on you, right? Like there have been clients for us that we have finished the whole ecosystem of branding, like the visual identity that we had to do for them within 11 days, just 11 days. And the chaos that you have, there is no process to follow at that point, because you just have an end goal and you just eye it and you just go. That's it. But there have been also some projects that we did for like 1 year, and we had a clear milestone that nobody followed, because there are other things that might happen, right? So a lot of times, like, oh, our HR fell out, like our CEO has some health issues, or we don't have funds right now, let's kind of resume it for the next month, or we absolutely love the 70 options that you sent us. Can you give us more? And there's so much, because I think not one person is the same, so not one client is going to be the same, and thank god it's not like that. But I think it's gonna keep on challenging, and the more you understand that you love challenges, the more amazing the journey is going to be. We kind of want to be in the comfort zone for ourselves, like, oh, I want this process, I want the mile, like the discovery session, the mood boarding, the brainstorming, options, and the end. It usually never happens that way.
Now that you have mentioned journey, I was
Hmm.
coming to that only. My last question is to you, like, what is Maitri gonna do in the coming 6 months? I just saw that in the last month you did a pop up in Bangalore, I think,
Yeah.
in your hometown. Is it
Hmm.
your hometown? No.
No. No, I'm from Pune.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
So, how was it? How was your
It was
experience?
great. So I used to do it a lot in Pune before.
Okay.
Not a lot, but I used to do it in Pune before. Like just like some people that I knew and like a meetup kind of thing. But yeah, after coming to Bangalore, it just never happened. And I thought, why not? I had really good posters that I printed out, and like if people wanted those, great. I can also teach some illustration tactics. But it was way more strategic on how
Hmm.
you can build an illustration, like style and characters and stuff, rather than just explore. But yeah, it was really fun. And for the next 6 months, I don't usually have a goal right now. I think it'll come in a month or so. But last year, it was, I don't want to travel anywhere. I just want to work. Last year was that. So I didn't travel much last year. This year, I've been traveling at least twice a month, which was really, really hectic, uh, mad hectic. So, and I was traveling mostly for work or like speaking events. And like I went to IIT or went to Hyderabad once, and Ahmedabad twice, and all of that stuff for a lot of speaking events and stuff. But doing all of that with work is difficult, because going on stage, I was just like texting client that I'll get back to you in like 5 minutes, and just went onto stage, and that's hectic. But I wanted to try that uh, experience as well. As an introvert, it was really difficult, but yeah, you kind of learn through it. So why not? So I don't know about next year. Maybe balance both of the years. Yeah, who knows?
Awesome. Yes, Janani.
Maitri, any plans to coming to Chennai? because I've
Oh,
been
I was planning on last
forward
month.
for I was looking forward for the Bangalore illustration workshop that
Hmm.
we conducted in Starbucks. So I
Yeah.
thought, wow, she should have come to Chennai. So please let me know whenever you come to
I'm
Chennai.
planning one more workshop in Bangalore this month. Might be planning one more in Mumbai. So I'm trying to do it like every single month. So let's see how that goes. But it's gonna be like a very like closed community kind of thing. I don't want to go around like 30 people telling them how to do illustrations. It would be really hectic for me as well.
Right, right.
So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Sure.
But yeah, I would love to come to Chennai. I've not been there in a
Please come.
very long time. So yeah, would
It's a
love to.
fantastic city. Yeah.
Awesome. I think a very, very nice session we had today. I hope everyone enjoyed, everyone's doubt got answered. We have a ritual, and now I want you all to do the same with me. Just pull out your phones and take your POVs snapshot and for the stories. Why not? Content.
Content people.
Are you all ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us online and on the live call. This was one of the last session of Fontober. थोड़ा सा promotion करूँगा because a lot of you want clients and everything, right? We are bringing another very interesting social media content creation influencer type workshop where we are going to be partnering up with Ansh Mehra and Kushika again. These guys are influencers. They have gained a lot of followers in the last year. And if you are interested in joining that, for sure, Raj, you can drop the link here in the chat. People will love to join. And that's it. That's it for today. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, everyone. Peace.
Bye everyone. See
Thank you so
ya.
much. Thank you so much, Maitri, for joining in.
Thank
Bye,
you. Thank you
everyone.
so much for inviting. Bye.
Bye bye.